ABC 3340 News starts now with breaking news.
Jennifer, the fire department tells me that everyone did make it outside of the home okay. One of those men got in his car and drove away. He wrecked here where I'm standing now on Gary Avenue. You can see pieces of light poles that he crashed into. Looking through their phones would look something like this with the Pokemon right on the screen. Right now everyone is just watching the weather and waiting to see what happens, but I'm going to show you around the storm shelter a little bit more. They've got a first aid station back here in case they need to use it at all. And in here, this is the Emergency Operations Center. So this is where they're going to be monitoring everything tonight. Well, guys, first I want you to take a look at this house. You can see the massive hole in the roof where it collapsed. Public safety officials say 57 emergency medical transports were requested from the area of a Kenny Chesney concert. Dave and Brenda, the Bradley family home only sustained minor damage, but their barns here behind their house are destroyed, pieces of them now scattered across the property. Right now at Hayden Ballpark, people are gathering for a balloon release in his memory. They have set up this table over here that features his jersey, a picture of him, and a banner for people to sign. Dave and Brenda, we spoke to many people who say the storm blew through quickly, but it still managed to blow down trees and damage homes. And Mayor Coachman tells me the city council does not have the authority to dissolve the police department, and I was just handed this memo from the mayor sent to the chief of police. And right now we're told there are no health or safety concerns with this here. And as we told you earlier, there were some students evacuated because of this accident. Let's go live now to Edward Birch, who's following that story. The remains have not been identified yet. Tomorrow morning, a forensic recovery team from the Jefferson County Coroner's Office is expected to be at the scene. Live in Jefferson County, Melanie Yuill, ABC 3340. Well, guys, first I want you to take a look at this house. You can see the massive hole in the roof where it collapsed. The grandfather tells me his granddaughters were in the living room on the couch watching TV when the roof came crumbling down on top of them. Police cars lined 7th Avenue West Thursday evening as first responders rescued 2 young girls trapped in the rubble of a roof collapse.
I couldn't get here fast enough.
Patrick Kennedy is the girls' grandfather. He owns the house. Kennedy tells ABC 3340 he was not home when the roof collapsed, but rushed there after he got the news.
I got the call from my wife saying that the roof or the chimney had caved in and my 2 granddaughters were trapped. She couldn't get to them, but I thought I can hear them screaming.
Police officers could hear the girls' screams as they arrived on scene.
The very first girl that I saw, she was ecstatic, she was screaming, she was crying.
And they saw the girls buried under rubble.
There was bricks, rubble, nails, old roofing material, you name it, it was there.
The officers didn't think twice about getting their uniforms dirty. They started digging with their bare hands. The fire department's heavy rescue team also worked to get the collapsed roof off the children. Kennedy says he's grateful his granddaughters survived.
It's a miracle. Blessed. And I do believe in a God.
Police tell us the 2 girls do have serious injuries, but they will recover. They are 8 and 5 years old. We're now told an investigation is underway into what may have caused the collapse and the structural integrity of the home. Live in Birmingham, Melanie Yuill, ABC 3340. This is where Kathy Davis and her family rode out the tornado that ripped through Hackleburg April 27th, 2011.
My husband came back in there and said the sirens are going off somewhere, said you're going to have to come on. So we took off and come down here.
She remembers exactly what she was doing before getting into the storm shelter.
I had bought $72 worth of groceries that day.
And what it was like sitting in the small shelter for nearly 3 hours.
They say it sounds like a train. No, it don't sound like no train. It sounds more like a jet just sitting on top of you. And that's it. You could hear stuff hitting the top of the storm cellar, and I thought for sure that it was going to come off.
Davis's husband and son held onto this chain to keep this door closed and keep them alive as the storms moved through this area. When they did get out here, she couldn't believe what she saw.
Open the door and hear people screaming for help, but it was bad. There was, like I said, it just looked like Everything was just dead when you looked out. Totally dead. I wondered how many people were still alive.
Davis says everything in her neighborhood was destroyed, including her family's house. The only item they managed to save, part of their old front porch. Their new home now sits on top of that.
Whenever you don't have nothing left and you're out just picking up pieces, you try to keep everything you can.
Now her house is one of just a few in the neighborhood. Bricks and slabs serve as reminders of where houses used to stand and the neighbors who didn't move back.
It's different, totally different.
5 years after the tornado, Davis says life will never be the same.
It was something. I hope I'd never have to go through another one. I don't wish that on my worst enemy.
In Hackleburg, Melanie Yuill, ABC 3340. Hey everyone, we are out here on 5th Street North in Lipscomb where there's been a water main break. I want to show you where a lot of the water is currently coming out of. Right over here, you can see it underneath the road here, underneath 5th Street North. That's where the break is. It's somewhere underneath there. They don't know exactly where, but you can see all that water coming out right there. It's a lot of water. It is moving very quickly. And actually, if we can pan the camera a little bit, I want to show you just how far this water is moving right now. You can see that it's going in front of this one house in this yard. And we're going to keep going this way, and you can see that it continues in front of this house and the side and on in front of another house and down that street over there, and it keeps going down that street for quite a ways. It is hard to see that right now because it's dark, but I can tell you that it's a lot of water. It is moving very quickly and it's moving very far. Again, a water main break here on 5th Street North in Lipscomb. I talked to the water superintendent for Bessemer Utilities, and he was telling me that they are right now trying to turn off the water. That's what they need to do first. Once they turn off the water, then they have to figure out which line broke. I'm told that it could be one of two lines. It could be a 24-inch line or a 14-inch line. And again, those lines are going to be somewhere in this area over here where you see a lot of the water coming out of. And you'll also notice that the road has started to cave in there at the edge where the water's coming out of. And we have actually been told not to stand right there on the road because they're afraid it could buckle at any time.